Hello dear friends, in this video we are going to learn a beautiful poem which talks about Arunachal Pradesh. The name of the poem is Small Towns and Rivers. Look at the smart city of Pasighat in Arunachal Pradesh. Look at the beautiful pictures. Beautiful river and small huts. Dear friends, this poem is written by Mamangdai. She was northeastern Indian writer. She was born on 23rd February 1957. She served the Indian Administrative Services for a short span and later moved on to journalism. She was the first woman IAS to be selected from her region, and the literary expressions of Mamangdai throw light on the northeastern culture. Let us read the poem. Small towns always remind me of death. My hometown lies calmly amidst the trees. It is always the same in summer or winter, with the dust flying or the wind howling down the gorge. Just the other day someone died. In the dreadful silence we wept, looking at the sad wreath of the tuberoses. Life and death, life and death, only the rituals are permanent. The river has a soul. In the summer it cuts through the land like a torrent of grief. Sometimes I think it holds its breath, seeking a land of fish and stars. The river has a soul. It knows stretching past the town, from the first drop of rain to dry earth and mist of the mountain tops. The river knows the immortality of water. A shrine of happy pictures marks the day of childhood. Small towns grow with anxiety for the future. The dead are placed pointing west. When the soul rises, it will walk into the golden east, into the house of the sun, into the cool bamboo restored in sunlight. Life matters like this. In small towns by the river, we all want to walk with the gods. This is a poem written by Mamangdai. Now let us learn the poem in detail, stanza by stanza. Small towns always remind me of death. Writer remembers death in her small village where she was born. My hometown lies calmly amidst the trees. Amidst the trees, among the trees. It is always the same in summer or winter, with the dust flying or the wind howling down the gorge. So this is her experience of her childhood. Writer says, small town always remind me of death. My hometown lies calmly amidst the trees. It is always the same in summer or winter. Condition never change. मित्रांनो, परिस्थिती कधी बदललीच नाही. शांतपणे ते गाव बसलेलं असायचं. अजूनही तिला आठवतं की उन्हाळा असो किंवा हिवाळा असो, तिथं डस्ट उडत असायची, धूळ उडत असायची आणि कुणाचा तरी मृत्यू झालेला आहे हेही तिला आठवत आहे. लाईफ अँड डेथ. बघा त्या पोएमच्या लाइन्स कशा आहेत. जस्ट द अदर डे समवन डाइड. एक दिन कोई मर गया. इन द ड्रेडफुल सायलेन्स वी वेफ्ट. आणि त्या भयान शांततेमध्ये आम्ही रडलो. In the dreadful silence we wept, looking at the sad wreath of tube roses. Life and death, life and death. Only the rituals are permanent. So life and death are ongoing situations. They never change. They go on continuously. Someone takes birth, someone leaves life, means someone dies. Look at the picture of this tree. Life and death. Half of the tree is dead, half of the tree is alive. So tube roses, look at the picture, these are tube roses. So life and death, only the rituals are permanent. जिंदगी आती है जाती है, कोई पैदा होता है, कोई मर जाता है, ये कभी रुकता ही नहीं. The river has a soul. नदीला आत्मा असतो. In the summer, it cuts to the land like a torrent of grief. Sometimes I think it holds its breath, seeking a land of fish and stars. Look at the picture. River has a soul. It flows between the valleys, hills, and in the valley it flows. It has a soul. It is so alive. It is very beautiful. But in summer what happens? Water dries out and it cuts through the land like a torrent of grief. जैसा दुख होता है, पानी कम होते जाता है और रिवर ड्राई बनती है. Look at this. I think it holds its breath, seeking a land of fish and stars. Such a beautiful experience given by the poetess. River has a soul. Again here I repeat the line. This line is repeated in the poem. River has a soul. देखो इतनी जिंदा लगती है रिवर. Beautiful water flows. It knows stretching past the town from the first drop of rain to dry earth and mist on the mountain tops. The river knows the immortality of water. Look at this. This is a mist, fog, and this river knows the immortality of water. Water is always immortal. कभी मरता ही नहीं. पानी एक अमृत है. पेय जल बोलते हैं हम उसको. अमृत है. आदमी को जिंदा रखने के लिए पानी आवश्यक है. The shrine of happy picture. This is a shrine, religious place. Marks the days of childhood. She remembers her days of childhood when she used to visit such a shrine, a religious place. Small towns grow with anxiety for the future. It is expanding. The dead are placed pointing west. When someone dies, the body of that dead person is placed pointing to the west side. When the soul rises, it will walk into the golden east, into the house of the sun. The people of that village imagine that when a person dies, his body should be kept pointing to the west, and when his soul arises, comes out of that tomb, it will walk into the golden east and into the house of the sun. Into the cool bamboo, restored in sunlight. Life matters like this. जिंदगी भी ऐसी है. In small towns by the river, नदी के किनारे, we all want to walk with the gods. भगवान के साथ हम चलना चाहते हैं. So this is in the cool bamboo, restored in sunlight for drying. Small towns are always by the river side, near the river. Now about the poem. What is the poem about? Yes, this poem is about nature, village, different traditions. So this poem is taken from the collection of the poems, the River Poems, published in 2004. It describes the landscape and nature where river is a dominant phenomenon. जिथं नदी ही प्रमुख आहे Through the concepts like river has a soul and river knows immortality of water, the poetess makes us aware of the nature around her hometown Pasighat and the eternity of the natural elements. या कवितेत काय आहे? रिव्हर हॅज अ सोल, नदीला आत्मा असतो, नदी जिवंत आहे. रिव्हर नोज इमॉर्टॅलिटी ऑफ वॉटर, पाण्याचं अमरत्व नदीला माहीत आहे. अँड बाय दीज टू कोटेशन्स or expressions, the poetess wants to make us aware that nature around her hometown Pasighat and the eternity of natural elements. Natural elements are always eternal. It is the duty of every human being to protect nature. It is based on the belief of the tribal people of the northeast that the souls of the beloved ones always continue to dwell in the natural elements around. त्या तिथल्या आदिवासी लोकांना किंवा तिथल्या गावातील लोकांची अशी श्रद्धा असते की जी माणसं मरतात त्यांना जर त्यांची डेड बॉडी पश्चिमेकडे डोकं करून ठेवली तर पूर्वेकडे ते नक्कीच जातात त्यांचे आत्मे, आणि ते कंटिन्यू टू ड्वेल, त्यांच्यासोबतच कंटिन्यू राहतात. त्या आजूबाजूला निसर्गाचं वास्तव्य असतं. या निसर्गाच्या सानिध्यात त्यांचे आत्मे कधी मरत नाहीत. शी रिमेंबर्स डेथ वेन शी सीज टाउन्स. तिथं गावातील तिला मृत्यू आठवते. जेव्हा ती लहानपणी राहायची त्या गावात, जब वहाँ रहती थी, कोई मरता था, कोई आदमी इंसान कोई मर जाता था. शी यूज टू वॉच द डेथ ऑफ सच पीपल and she always remember whenever she visits her village, visits Pasighat, she remembers all the deaths she had witnessed. She implies that towns have prospered where nature has been destroyed. गाव कुठे वाढलं? भरभराट झाली गावाची, पण निसर्ग तोडून, निसर्गाला नाश करून. People have developed towns and cities by destroying nature, by cutting trees. She has expressed anxiety at the development in small towns. छोट्या गावामध्ये जो डेव्हलपमेंट होते आहे, डेव्हलपमेंट इज नेसेसरी, बट पीपल शुड नॉट डिस्ट्रॉय नेचर टू डेव्हलप देअर ओन लाईफ. निसर्गाला डिस्ट्रॉय करून जीवन स्वतःचा विकास नाही करायचा, स्वतःच्या जीवनाचा विकास नाही करायचा. Now figures of speech in the poem. First is Anamatapiya, the wind howling down the gorge. Look at the word howling, which indicates sound of the wind. So the word howling indicates sound. Another figure of speech is inversion. In the dreadful silence we wept. The line should be we wept in the dreadful silence. So the words are not in correct order. It should be we wept in the dreadful silence. Then another figure of speech is transferred epithet. Look at the line. In the dreadful silence we wept. Here the epithet or adjective dreadful is transferred from we to silence. Actually we were dreadful, not silent. Silence was not dreadful. We were dreadful. So the adjective or epithet dreadful is transferred from we to silence. So this is the example of transferred epithet. Repetition. Life and death, life and death. Repetition. The term life and death is repeated to make the line more effective. Another example of figure of speech, personification is here. The river has a soul, means river is given human quality which has got soul. The river is personified, it has a soul. Simile is also here. In the summer it cuts to the land like a torrent of grief. And here the cutting of the river is directly compared to torrent of grief. So direct comparison between cutting of river and torrent of grief is made by using the word like. Now appreciation of the poem. Here I would advise you to write down all important points appreciation of the poem is very useful, very important. Title: Small Towns and Rivers. The title describes the landscape and nature. The river is a dominant phenomena. What is the theme or central idea of the poem? The souls of the beloved always continue to dwell in the natural elements around. The towns have prepared when nature has been destroyed. This is the central theme. जिथं निसर्गाला नष्ट करून गावांचा विकास केला. Another theme is her anxiety at the development small towns, because people are developing by destroying nature. What are the poetic devices? Language and style or tone. Figure of speech is onomatopoeia, personification, repetition, inversion, and transfer epithet are the figures of speech used by the poet. Style of the poem is, this poem is written in free verse, so it has no rhyme scheme. What is the tone? Of course, this poem has got pessimistic tone because the writer is not happy at all by seeing the development but destruction of nature. So pessimistic tone is used by the poetess to express the anxiety at the developments in small towns. What is the value or message of the poem? The poem teaches us the value that we can remain happy in the company of nature. We cannot destroy nature. Development is essential, but the natural resources should not be destroyed. And my opinion in your question paper point will be your opinion, but you should write my opinion. I think we have to take care of natural resources like rivers, forests and wildlife. Development is an ongoing process, but while developing towns and villages, we have to preserve the natural resources. So these are very, very important points which will be asked in the question paper for appreciation of this poem. I think you have understood the poem. Thanks for watching. If you have not understood, watch this video again and again. Definitely you will understand it. Best of luck. Have a nice day. Let us meet in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Bye bye.